What's good, family? We back for another week of Top 5 Live. Back with your boy. My name is Morgan Iverson. For those listening, my boy Javon Stokes down at the bottom, and my man's Danny Jatori quick at the top right.
Every week, bro. We
Yeah,
we
I'm
don't
sorry. I feel like that's the only way to start it
can't
off.
just say Jay like everybody else. If you're gonna do the
No,
middle name, just say Jay, Danny J. Quick,
nah, I
easy.
can't. I can't. Okay, I mean I could do
Hey, let
that.
him have this. He about to get work tonight, so just
Yeah,
let
he
him have.
definitely.
Who about to get word? Man, this list about to be insane. I have no idea what y'all about to say at all. I have no idea, and I think that's the most exciting. I think this may end up being the most exciting one because I literally don't know what you idiots are about to say. So I think that's a good thing. And when it comes time for the poll, I think you know what we got to rediscuss this poll too because I know that we should post it after the show to some degree, but at the same time, it kind of diminishes if people. Never mind. We'll get to that after the show.
Nah, you ain't have no problem with the poll 2 weeks ago when you won. I don't want to hear that.
Exactly.
You
No,
had
no,
no
no. It's
problem
when
with
we
the poll.
post it. No, it's when we post it. And the reason that we'll get into that later. We'll fuss about that later. Um, so all right, our top five tonight for those who don't know. Top five tonight is we have the top five best movies. Hold on, what's up? This got to be Amani. The top five best movie trilogies of all time. Uh, I'm going to let Javon speak over what the criteria is because he's uh, being particular about it. It's not necessarily a bad thing, so it's whatever. I'm gonna let him explain what the criteria is that we're using, so that everybody's on the same page. All right, Javon, what criteria are we supposed to be using?
The criteria of the definition of a trilogy. A trilogy is generally considered three movies that are telling somewhat of a whole story. They're not three random movies within a franchise. I think everybody knows what a trilogy is. You're the only person that don't seem to understand what a trilogy is. Now, as for this one, I'll be perfectly honest before we even get to my list. I
Bro.
didn't put trilogies in that I never saw. So this was the best trilogies that I've ever seen. I don't know what these men gentlemen did, but that's what I did.
I didn't either. I didn't. I think there's going to be one glaring miss from all of our lists because I think we talked about all of us never saw 'em. But I don't think it would have made my list anyway. Just just looking at my list, I don't think it would have made mine. So.
Kenny, there's a criteria because Morgan has had a hard time over the last few days figuring out what a trilogy actually.
No,
That's why there's a criteria.
nah, that's not it. It's cool.
Danny, tell me I'm wrong.
It's facts. It's facts.
Look, all I needed to make sure that y'all heard what the criteria was. I have them repeated when we get ready to get into the list. Yes, we know. I'm sure that's Amani. Amani, hit the chat, hit that chat that I just put up there, Restream IO, and it'll show your name and stuff. You know, I know you had an issue with that last week. So the first topic that we're gonna get into before we get into the list and argue about that for a while. Which topic y'all want to start on? Do y'all want to start on Donda? You want to start on Candyman? Donda?
I ain't gonna make people wait for Donda like Kanye did.
All right, good point.
I just want to say.
What's good, sis?
I just want to say for Donda, was it worth the wait?
I don't. Well, Javon already said he didn't listen to it.
I haven't listened to
it. It absolutely did not live up to being worth the wait at all. Not at all. I mean, I'm a Kanye fan, and it definitely did not live up to the billing for all the extra that he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't live up to that at all. From the first song, from the first song when he first started with Donda, 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 Donda. I
skipped that.
I literally just skipped it.
I skipped that by like the fifth because I'll be honest with you. I felt like just listening to it, like I've never been part of a ritual before, but that's what it felt like to me. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Let me just skip this and get to the music.
It definitely sounded like he was trying to summon. you know how I'm saying, since we're getting into Candyman, it definitely seemed like he was trying to summon his mom or some remnant of her or something. It was weird, and I just skipped it.
That's the
But
question. Was it like a gospel album? Because we had that whole conversation. Was it?
there were it was like a I don't think Kanye cursed on it at all. I don't remember any artist cursing on it, but I have to listen back through it. Um, I would compare it more so to like when you're listening to Lecrae, some type of a gospel um, rap artist. It would definitely be more so like that. What it do, Ryan? Um, it would definitely be more like that. So I, all I can say is it definitely did not live up to the billing. It didn't live up to all the hype and him putting it off and teasing dates and doing 3 different listening joints. Now he did 3 different listening joints so he could get that money. Like what you can't take away from Kanye is the fact that dude knows how to make money and build buzz. Like you can't hate on that. I mean, you can, but I mean, that's in the proof's in the pudding on that. He made a
But,
whole bunch of millions off of
but
just making people wait. You know what I'm saying?
again, for me, you can't say I'm putting out a gospel album and then like make it all about the spectacle. Like that's not. We can go. We can talk about Candyman now if you.
I was about to say, because I literally made the preacher.
Kanye, man.
I literally made the preacher for that purpose. So
I
I'm about
tried to tell y'all about Kanye, man. I tried to. I ain't ride with him since what? Graduation. I'm good.
Hey, listen, we don't have to dwell on it. Danny just said that's where you want to start. It did not live up to the billing. I'll say that as a person that I definitely rode with Kanye for those first 3 albums. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. College Dropout, Late Registration to Graduation, all heat to me. Still listen to him to this day. Everything after that is all sketchy. I don't, you know what I'm saying. But again, his
Jay-Z
mom died.
Jay-Z had
I think the name of his album and how much he did on this album is perfect. The perfect testament to what most people have already conceded to is the fact that dude's mom died, and it changed a lot in him. So,
bro, can you stop spamming the chat, man? We usually go through some topics before we get to the top 10, top 5 list, bro.
Who is that,
bro?
I don't understand what.
I don't know who you are, but we see it. We know we gonna get to the top 5. That's the main event.
I don't know if that's. I can't tell. I told if you okay. Let me put the link up there again. It's not if it's not showing your name. If it's not showing your name in the chat,
they just saying Kanye's album was whack. That's all they said.
I get it. If you do not see your name coming up in the chat, hit that link, and it should let your name show up in the chat. Or because it might be what I don't know what streaming app you're watching on. It's saying Facebook, but you must be watching from the. I'm assuming it's not the group page. I can't figure that out right now. So just make sure you hit that chat button, and then we can see whose name it is.
I mean, we can move forward with Candyman if y'all don't. If y'all
I'm definitely ready to talk about Candyman because I mean,
did you see it, Javon?
Yeah, no, I read on it Wikipedia, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh,
you did what?
I only have so much time in the world to do things. So for me to go see a movie, especially like this climate we in, a movie in the movie theater. Now I would have paid for it maybe if it would have went on streaming. I know what happens. I know everything that happens.
Why did you? Never mind.
My thing is the movie. The movie itself, I enjoyed the movie. Like I'm not a big horror fan anyway. I don't go, especially when it's like spiritual, people dragging you that you can't see type of stuff. I don't like horror, period. Right? I would rather watch somebody with a chainsaw chase you down, somebody that you can shoot and kill. Cool, I can watch that all day. I do not enjoy being scared by stuff that you can't see and that you can't control. Right? That's just not my type of movie. I hate it.
You Christian?
Huh?
I say you Christian.
It's not. I don't think it's even that. It's just that.
That's all right. I know many of you. I know many Christians like that, man.
Danny just scary, bro. When it comes to spiritual stuff.
Nah, but I can watch if it's Jason. I can watch Jason. Like I don't have a problem with that. It's just like the spirits and stuff, bro, it just bothers me. Like if it carries with me after the movie, I don't want to watch that.
It's a continuation and a reboot at the same time.
Yeah,
It's very well written in that way. It's both. It ties in the first one, and it also continues, and also it also continues, but also like restarts its own lore. So I think the movie is doing a really good job of setting up for future movies. That's what I think they're driving towards. Because I
yeah,
think
and I think they did a good job because from what I read, because I never saw the original Candyman movies. From what I read, they completely disregarded Candyman 2 and 3. I think
as well they
um
should.
so, so they got the good stuff from the first Candyman, and like the bees and stuff that was scary. The reflection in the mirrors was scary. Like the funny part for me though was the Asian girl. Did you see the part where they was the the white girls and the Asian girl were in the
Yeah, it's
bathroom,
funny.
and they were like, "All right, we're gonna do it." They said Candyman 3 times, and something fell. Something just
He
fell,
said,
and the,
"Nah,
the Asian girl was like, "Nah, I'm out of here." Like she straight dipped out. I was like, "Hey,
yeah, nah."
she might
There were
be me."
mad moments. There were mad moments in the movie like that. Her brother, her brother when her his boyfriend started saying something. His boyfriend started saying something. He was like, "Hey, chill out." He was like, "Black people don't need to be summoning nothing."
Somebody
you know,
need to
it
somebody
was
need to sub anything.
yeah. There were mad moments in the movie like that where, what I'm saying, they would address the fact that black people don't. We don't need, number one, we don't play like that. Number two, we don't need to play like that.
Yeah,
What I'm saying, there were mad moments where that happened and it was said, and I thought, and of course, my favorite. I was waiting on it the whole movie. You know what I'm saying, when he did a Candyman, and then she said, "Shush, don't say that."
mm,
That was the best part of the whole trailer to me. You know what I'm saying, when they did the original trailer, even though that first trailer for Candyman was one of the dopest things ever. You know what I'm saying? With the putting
yeah,
Beyonce's my name to it, that crap was fire, yo. But yeah, the
perfect.
movie in itself, I'm a big horror movie fan. It's not um slashers don't scare me, so I didn't go into the movie expecting to be scared. Uh did Candyman lead that to give anyone T'Challa vibes or not? Um
Oh yeah,
I've
yeah,
said
yeah. Abdul Hamid could absolutely play
yeah.
T'Challa, but
I've
he,
said before he could play T'Challa.
I don't know if you know, but he plays Black Manta in the Aquaman movies though.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but he does good. I think I haven't seen him be bad in anything.
And he
Uh,
played Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He was real good in that. Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, he definitely could play T'Challa without question.
yeah,
Um, I think, but I also think Aldous Hodge could too, even though he's playing Hawkman in DC. I think
yeah.
so.
He was
Um,
good in that. But that bring since you just brought up Aldous Hodge, he was in that. He was in the most recent Invisible Man movie, right?
Yeah.
And that's
yes,
No,
and
no, no, that's not Hodge. I don't think that's
yes,
Hodge.
it was.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it
He
was.
was the cop. He was the cop
I
in
thought that
Invisible.
was the other dude. I thought that was the dude that played Jimmy
No,
Olsen.
no, it was Aldous Hodge.
I think if either way, that's a movie where you can't see what's attacking you, but I know it's a real person. So I like that movie. That was a good horror movie.
Which
I've been
oh,
trying to.
Invisible Man.
Yeah,
Yeah, that joint was good.
yeah, that was good,
Um,
but that was
I've been
like
saying the
technology.
dude. I've been saying the dude that's Candyman or in Candyman movie should be T'Challa for a long time now.
yeah,
Yeah,
Since
I
since,
think
since Watchmen.
I think people would agree with that. That's a separate conversation that we've had before, but I still really feel like that's what Marvel will ultimately do. They have too much real estate in Black Panther to not be able to steer the ship that way and do it.
Right.
I just don't
So
believe they're not.
don't waste the movie and just recast them now.
I don't think they're
and
wasting the movie.
It's a waste. It's a waste.
No, it's not.
I had to see what they
We're
doing.
not
I had to see
we're
what
not
they
doing
doing.
it. I'm not gonna go through this again.
I have
It's
to
a
see
waste.
what they do with it. I don't know if they. I don't know. I have to see what they're doing. But I
Black
will
Panther.
say that
All
with
right.
what's happening with Spider-Man, they could easily just I mean, they could easily recast them with what's happening with Spider-Man. If all of these multiverses are coming together, then Doctor Strange is having the multiverse of madness.
They
All
don't have
both
to
of those
do
movies.
all that though.
It don't
I
matter,
mean,
bro. Like you
Go through
bro.
all that.
We
It's
know
silly.
we know that you don't like the guy, man. We get it. Jesus
Like what
Christ.
guy? Like
I
what
don't
guy?
know. Chadwick,
What are you
T'Challa. I
talking?
don't know. I don't
What are you
know. I just
talking about?
know it's okay, man.
What are you
Listen.
talking about?
he's not hating on
It's not a
Chadwick.
wasted
I
movie.
never hated on Chadwick Boseman.
It's not
I
a
never
wasted
hated
movie
on
just because
T'Challa.
Chadwick's not in it, bro. Like it's not. It's just not. Just don't go see it.
My whole point
Just
is
don't
that
go
it's
see it.
really silly to go through
It's not silly.
alternate realities and
It's not
multiverses when you can just recast the dude and move on.
It's not silly.
I think
It
I
is
don't know.
silly.
Man.
No, it's not.
I don't know though, because when they recasted, so they recasted Hulk, but that was early on, right?
They recasted James Rhodes. They recasted a bunch of
They're
people.
not the title character though. Like Rhodes
What are
isn't
you
the title
talking
character.
about,
It doesn't
bro?
matter. It doesn't matter.
Yes,
If
it
you
does
can
matter.
if you can recast the
You gonna
Hulk,
recast
then
Robert Downey
what
Jr.
are we doing? You
I
took
think,
out Edward Norton and you put the other dude in there.
I
Ain't
think
nobody.
they're being careful though, because Black Panther made $1 billion. Like
You think?
that.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If
Yeah.
they put the dude from Candyman in there right now, you think it's gonna make less money? It's a Marvel movie, dude. It's gonna make money.
I don't know.
It's
I
a
think
Marvel.
it'll still be great. I think it'll still be
Captain
great.
Marvel did 100 million, dude.
I think the movie's going to be great regardless.
Ant-Man did 100 mil.
Okay, but I don't think that 100 million is not a
You
billion.
hold on, man.
In
You
case,
hold on,
you know what I'm
dude.
saying? A billion and 100 million are two different things. That's all
I'm just making the point that you don't think people are gonna come just because it's a Black Panther movie. People gonna come.
I've been telling you that this whole time.
Yeah,
I've literally been
all
saying
right.
that the whole time.
Hold on. If your point is people gonna come,
They are.
regardless of if there's a Black Panther recast or not, then it doesn't matter. You can recast Black Panther and then keep it moving.
You could, but they chose not to for a reason.
And I'm saying that it's a bad reason.
No, it's not.
It's a very bad reason.
No, it's not.
Let me not say bad. I'm saying it's an emotional reason that is not born in logic.
Okay. There's a whole bunch of things that ain't born in logic that
Well,
don't necessarily.
so right now, so like I said, so you have to at some point understand, number one, like I said before, to act as if there's only one black man on this planet that can be Black Panther.
Nobody said that.
Well, that's what you're doing by not recasting him right now.
Nope, that's not what they're doing.
Okay, so what are they doing?
If they never recast them, that's what they're doing.
So what are they doing? Explain to me why.
I think they're trying to expand Wakanda. I think that was the intent from the first movie.
That's bull.
No, because
how is it bull? They're doing a whole series.
Chadwick Boseman was
They're
alive.
doing an entire series.
If Chadwick Boseman was alive right now, would he be in the Black Panther sequel?
Would he be in the series?
So then it's not about expanding Wakanda.
I think the intention was to expand Wakanda.
It's about people grieving over Chadwick Boseman's death, and I understand that. But I'm saying that if you're grieving, if you're so intent on not recasting him right now because you're grieving, just push the movie off, and then when you are over it, go and do the movie. Don't rush to put out a movie just because you want to put out a Black Panther movie, but you don't
rushing. It's been 4 years.
Hey,
what did you say? So he has to do to move on.
That's what you want. That's not what they want.
I'm the only person that doesn't want. You think I'm the only person? Time out. You think I'm the only person that wants him recast?
He's going to. Never mind.
That's not. Answer my question. Just answer.
All I know is Letitia Wright already got hurt filming the movie. Like they need somebody. They need somebody. Letitia Wright done already got hurt. Oh, she got hurt.
You're saying that's what I want. Like I'm the only dude on the planet that thinks that they should recast it. If you can sit there and say, well, that's what they're going to do eventually. They're going to do some multiverse thing. So you're telling me they're going to do it eventually. Then if you're going to do it eventually, why not do it right now?
Because that's not what he wrote. That's not what he wrote.
So he can't rewrite it?
Why the hell should he rewrite it for you?
Stop. That's bad logic. King of the bad logic.
There's no logic in this.
Bad logic. You sitting there telling me
are you Kevin Feige?
What he wrote is not a good
Kevin
reason.
Feige? Are you Kevin Feige?
So I can't say Kevin Feige is making a mistake.
Are you Ryan Coogler? Are you any of the castmates on Black Panther?
What is your argument here? Is your argument that because I'm not a cast member,
that's the decision that they made? You're not in control.
And I'm saying that it's the wrong decision, and I have every right to say that.
Don't take Feige's seat. Go take
That's
Ryan
the
Coogler.
dumbest
Go
damn
back to
argument.
him.
Dumb argument.
What the F
That's
are you
a dumb
talking about,
argument.
bro? Like, how is this dude gonna come to Marvel and tell them they doing wrong when he already a fan of them and you can go sit in the chair?
So Marvel
and
has never
watch
made a
Marvel?
mistake. So Marvel has never made a mistake.
Hey,
What
I
mistake
think
has Marvel
What's
made
the
that
name
kept
in
you
Doctor
going to
Strange
film?
wasn't a mistake.
Did you
I
see the
think
film?
that
That's the ancient one. They
Did you see
admitted
the
that was a
film?
mistake.
Did you see the film?
What?
think
Did you
that
see
either
Martin
way
Doctor
they're
Strange?
going to
What? The first Doctor Strange?
Did you see Doctor Strange?
Yes, the first Doctor Strange. And
All
it was
right.
a mistake to cast her as the ancient one.
But
One
you still
dude
went to see it, right?
really said-
But you still went to
Tilda
see it,
Swinton
right?
was good.
That's my point. You're making my point. Thank you very much. You're making my point. Nobody give a crap. Hold on one second.
Tilda Swinton was good. I enjoyed her. I enjoyed her as the ancient one.
Anyway, moving on next topic.
I think they are going to have to, but I think it's a good idea for them to try to expand Wakanda because in the first movie they made a point to try to show the different tribes and what they were for, and it really made the movie better. So
yes.
if they are trying to tell a story about not having the king of Wakanda, and what it does to the nation, to the different tribes, I think that could be a good movie. I think
It will be a good movie. You're absolutely correct.
And
Thank
I'm
you for
saying, why
acknowledging
do
that.
we have to kill
Thank you for
a
acknowledging
character?
that.
Time out. Why do we have to kill a character because the actor died?
The
We
character's
didn't
not
kill
dead.
Superman when Christopher Reeve died.
The character's not dead.
We didn't kill the Joker when Heath Ledger died.
Well, the
We
character's
killed
not dead.
so many people, so
He's
many
not.
actors that have played superheroes.
I agree.
I know
I
you.
agree.
I'm talking to this man right here. I'm talking to
not dead.
him. He's the thing. It's such a blasphemous thing for me to sit here and say I don't think that they're making the right decision. Because God forbid that
He's
you
not
had
dead.
time out. Let's think about this. Think about it for a second. All right.
Okay. He's not dead though.
Oh, who, Black Panther?
You want me to type? I'll type it down here. Hold on.
You can type it all you want. You can sign language it to me. I'm
I don't
saying,
know how to. I would.
how you gonna have a Black Panther movie without Black Panther?
I think there'll be a Black Panther. I think.
Yeah.
I think Shuri's gonna be Black Panther.
Fine. Now, all right. Let's go with that. You're telling me, okay, Shuri's gonna be Black Panther. T'Challa is literally the only Black male superhero character in the Marvel universe that's not one, a derivative, or two, a former gangbanger or dude with priors. He's the only one in the MCU, literally the only one. So we got to go our king. Tell me I'm wrong.
Who's the gangbanger? Who's it?
Not gang. Luke Cage was a former convict.
Oh, okay, I got you. I mean,
Falcon was okay. Now he's Captain America. Now he's a derivative of a white character. War Machine is a derivative of Iron Man.
I agree with you, but I think it's fine for a Black woman to be. Shuri isn't Black Panther.
Why do we have to lose a character to get a Black female superhero? That's all I'm saying.
We getting three. We getting three though.
So what's the other Black male superhero we gonna get?
Oh, male superhero. I'm saying we getting.
What's on the docket?
We getting a Captain America movie.
We getting a derivative of a white character. And don't tell me if Chris Evans didn't want to step right back into being Captain America, that Sam be demoted back to Falcon.
That's how they did it in the comics. I'm just saying. Black
Panther was a king, was a Black man, a male, strong superhero that little Black boys can look up to and be like, I want to be like T'Challa. That's it. Morgan, you can be mad at me all you want. You don't give me logical reasons. Your defense is, are you Kevin Feige? What the hell is that? No, I'm not Kevin Feige. I'm sorry. I'm not Kevin Feige or Ryan.
I'm sorry you're not Kevin Feige too, because if you were, I can get some of these Ace Blade ideas off.
I'm trying to make some Ace Blade movies for you, man. I got you, man. I got you. This being mad because I'm saying that it's a bad move to have, Black Panther continue on like Chadwick Boseman would want him to have it continue on. Chadwick Boseman literally wants them to recast T'Challa.
Like I said, I think they're just being careful, and I'm okay with them being careful as long as the movie is still good. I don't really care.
What do you mean by be careful? That's my only question.
they're being careful because that, like we said, Black Panther was the first time that a black superhero film, it made $1 billion. Like, this is a property that they feel like they have to be careful with because they know that they're in new territory, right? And they don't want to mess it up.
But it's
So
not new territory for them. That's my whole point. They've
it
already
is,
recast
it is
somebody.
for black. It is for black people. It's
They
for black.
already recast a black character before. This is not people will come
not $1 billion one.
people will come out and see Black Panther again. They came out to see Batman when it went from Michael Keaton to Val Kilmer. They came out to see Batman again when it went from Val Kilmer to George Clooney. People don't care as much. I don't think people care as much as y'all think. I really don't.
$1 billion. No, I'm not saying that people care. I'm going to see the movie regardless. The reason I went and saw the first one 4 times in the theater though was because the film was good. Like, we were doing events at the time. And yeah, I took my family to see it twice. I went and saw it 2 times by myself because the film was good. If it wasn't great, then I probably would have just saw it twice.
Thank you. Aaron is totally correct. The character needs to live on. It's terrible that Chadwick died, but people will support the character and franchise. They gonna come out.
I think they will.
They gonna come out. You recast them, they gonna come out. If they gonna come for a movie without T'Challa, they gonna come back for a movie. They gonna want to see who the new person is, and they could have done they could have introduced him in the Marvel Disney Plus shows. They could have done so much to prepare people for it. I don't know why Morgan loves Chadwick Boseman. That's why he's looking like that. That's really what this boils down to. Morgan loves Chadwick. He's sad that he died, and he's not ready to let go. And we trying to help him.
That's why he was in his top 5. That's why he was in his top black actors of all time. We understand, Morgan. It's okay.
He gonna be mad if they recast him, Jamie Foxx to be T'Challa. He gonna be so mad.
Nah, they better not do that. He
gonna be big mad if Jamie Foxx is T'Challa.
Morgan go right.
Thank you, sir. This is exactly what I've been saying the entire time, but it's okay. That's why I'm making the face I am, because you're making
Black Widow was in like 10 movies.
You're making all
Black
of the
Widow
most BS points
you got
possible.
10 movies of Natasha.
All of the most BS points possible.
Really?
What I just told you.
I'm sorry.
I told you exactly what my point was, and you just disregarded all of them. So
I disregarded your point. Your point was, are you
definitely 100% disregarded my point?
Your point was,
what my point was from the very beginning. I know they heard me say that. I know they heard me say that.
Can we talk about What If real quick before 8:30 rolls around here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are y'all caught up? Y'all caught up on What If?
Yeah, I'm caught up.
Yeah. So that third episode was hot. That third episode was hot fire. Like,
pure fire.
I like seeing stuff like that where they, twist. So one little simple thing, Hope Van dying, right? So from what I got from the episode, and I watched New Rockstar's video on it, right? They were talking about so in the Captain America 2 movie, they talked about the Winter Soldier, right? The Winter Soldier shot through her abdomen and shot her partner. So I think what they were trying to say was that was the original Yellow Jacket. What's her name? Not Hope Van Dyne, the mother.
Yeah.
And she died by the Winter Soldier's hand, and then Hope died going out for the Avengers, right? So she started working for the Avengers with Nick Fury and died as in service to Nick Fury. So this drove your man crazy, and he out here killing everybody.
I like what ifs like that. Like I like my what ifs where everything goes off the rails. Like I thought the first what if with they like played it safe. Yeah. Right. It was like, okay, well, it's just the same movie with switch people out. The one with T'Challa, I really liked because that was it was really different. And of course, it was nice to see T'Challa again. Because unfortunately, Morgan thinks that, I hate to,
Hey, you should really leave that whole argument alone, man.
He thinks I hate Chadwick Boseman. So apparently I hated the episode. But anyway, I did love that episode. But
this third one was the best one to me.
Huh?
This third one was the best one so far to me.
Yeah. That's how you use what if, in my opinion. Like,
yeah.
You got
my thing is, though, I thought that they were going to Like I thought episodes were going to tie in eventually, but it doesn't seem like they're going to do that.
I think that's down the line.
Because they showed the Captain America shield at the end, and you know, from what I can tell, there was no Captain America. There was just Captain Carter.
No, I
So
think they're all different, but I think eventually they're gonna. It's a multiversal thing.
it's still gonna tie in.
Yeah,
I
these
hope
are all
so.
different universes, but somehow they're supposed to tie together. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Another one is tomorrow, right?
yeah. Tomorrow morning. I don't even know what the episode tomorrow is supposed to be about.
He has Doctor Strange in it. I
Oh,
think.
yeah, it's gonna be crazy then.
Yeah. All right, and let's get these lists in so Morgan can he seems like he's calmed down now. So let's do it.
Are you going first, Morgan?
No, I went first last week.
I'll go first this time. I'll go first this time then.
So our top five list this week, for those that missed it, is the top five best movie trilogies of all time. I think so. Concerning best, Javon has in mind that greatest and best are two different things. So, and I'm telling you guys this so when you put your list together, you can have these things in mind so you understand what we have on our list and why. These are three things that were in mind in the conversation that we had in the group. One, best and greatest are two different things. Greatest means I'll let Javon explain that. I'm gonna let Javon explain.
Greatest is all about accolades. Greatest is all about accolades and cultural impact, right? So Michael Jordan is considered the greatest, not because he's the best basketball player, but because he's has the cultural impact.
Don't do that.
And LeBron just hasn't had that yet. Whereas statistically
don't do that.
Bill Russell or LeBron James would be the best. So
another example.
That's basically the difference here. But the best is just going to be more subjective.
Start looking like Mario.
Have to back up why we think things are the best. Because when Morgan comes out here with some craziness,
I hope y'all heard, because they were both talking at the same time. I hope y'all heard what the difference is between best and greatest.
They heard.
So that's one part. That's one part. Second part is trilogies. No stringing together movies or anything like that. Just it can have more than 3 movies in it.
No. Why you keep saying that?
Okay, never mind.
Trilogy, dude.
All right, 3 movies only.
Danny, are we crazy? We crazy.
Morgan is quantifying. He's saying that, like we said, Indiana Jones has 4 movies, but the first 3 movies are a trilogy. Yes, it can have more than 3 movies. Star Wars has 10 movies.
He just said it can't.
No, that's not what it can't be 1 through 4 though.
I was literally just saying exactly what you just
said. Do the list,
man.
Just do the list, man. Just do the list.
I literally was just saying exactly what
you take it too personally.
All right, y'all go ahead. Do what you want. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Danny.
I quit, bro.
Go, Danny. Just go, man.
All right, bet. So after I say my list, y'all ain't gonna need to say yours, basically, because this is it. Thanks, Candace. Tell Morgan to get it together. All right. So my top 5, and this was the very reason that this conversation started was because I was watching The Matrix. Right, I was sitting there. Pluto TV had The Matrix. All of them on Pluto TV. Pluto TV is underrated, by the way. I'm just now learning about Pluto TV, and it's some good stuff on Pluto TV. But they had The Matrix playing, and I was like, yo, The Matrix might be the greatest trilogy of all time. And then these two said, you're wrong. That's not right. Forget it. I still believe it's in the top 5. So number 5 on my list is The Matrix 1, 2, and 3. They got number 4 coming out, but that's a whole reboot. All right. Number 4 is Rocky 1, 2, and 3. All right. Listen, I know there's like 6 Rocky movies, but the first 3, they had the impact, they had emotional growth and development and attachment to the characters like you never seen. The Eye of the Tiger, people still singing that song. My number 3, Star Wars 4, 5, and 6. So the original trilogy, but episodes 4, 5, and 6. I don't think anybody's going to argue that should be in the top 5. Number 2. My number 2 is Captain America 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Those are Civil War is like my favorite movie of all time. Oh yeah, that's that Unlikely Hero Studios. And then my number 1, Toy Story. Toy Story is the greatest trilogy of all time to me. And when y'all give the lists, no, the first 3 Toy Stories are the trilogy. When Andy starts playing with Woody to when Andy gives Woody away. That's the trilogy right there. And that the emotional impact, I was crying. I'm tearing up just thinking about it right now. Whew. But go ahead, y'all got it.
Javon.
Oh, you want me to go? All right, okay. Man, the number 5 one was really difficult, and it really boiled down to which one had the better number 2, because I don't really like the third one of each of these trilogies, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Number 5, Christopher Nolan's Batman. Batman Begins, Dark Knight Return, Dark Knight, what's the last one? What's the last one?
You can't even remember because it was so terrible.
I just said I literally just boiled down to the last one.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises. Number 4, Captain America. Great trilogy. Great trilogy. Number 3, Indiana Jones. Classic trilogy. Every single movie was good. Every single
was boo-boo.
Number 2, Back to the Future. Every single Back to the Future movie was good. Every
Back
single
to the Future had
Back to the Future.
Nah.
All 3
nah.
And then last but not least, and this is the one we have all argued about for weeks now, Lord of the Rings. Number 1. Greatest.
Did Star Wars on your? Did you say?
I've never seen I've only seen 10 minutes of the first Star Wars movie.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you said you hadn't seen that.
Yeah, they're boring. Every Star Wars movie I've seen has been boring.
Lord of the Rings isn't.
Absolutely not.
Lord of the Rings is the most boring.
Yeah.
Bruh, no.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right, Morgan, go ahead now.
All right. Number 5, The Godfather. Number 4, Captain America. Number 3, The Matrix. Number 2, Indiana Jones. Number 1, Lord of the Rings. I'll let y'all discuss.
Bro, you haven't seen any of those. Stop it. You haven't seen any of those.
Lord of the Rings. You and I just
y'all can talk. Y'all can talk about y'all before.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that. That's not your list. That's not your list.
Okay.
That's not your list. Morgan, man. Don't throw a temper tantrum, dude. Don't do that, man. Don't do it. You know that's not your list, dude. You know that's not your list.
Morgan, that's not your list. You told me that you hadn't seen the Godfather movie.
No, that's not your list. You literally just spent the last 2 weeks telling me that Lord of the Rings was boring and Lord of the Rings was trash.
Have you seen the Godfather movies more?
Yes.
I don't believe that, man. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Where's your list? Where's the real list? Can you tell me the real list?
I just told you the real list.
I ain't the real. You just.
Do you want me to explain?
Do we have to like start pulling up screenshots? You telling me how Lord of the Rings was trash?
You gotta explain.
I'll explain it. Do y'all want to go first? Or you want me to explain first?
Go and do your thing, man. I gotta hear you.
Lord of the Rings is number 1 on the list because as much as it irritates me, and as much as I think it's slow at times, and as much as there are no black people in it anywhere, outside of the orcs. Outside of the orcs.
Well, that was a precedent for
outside of the orcs, which I'm sure is
supposed to be the orcs were black.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be the black people in Lord of the Rings. I cannot say that the movie series as a whole for that genre is not pretty much the standard. I think pretty much everybody says it's a standard. The reason I had to put it on the list, and the reason I put it at number one, is because number one, in my list, all of the movie trilogies I put on my list, my goal was to have the trilogies that, in one way, shape, or form, in their genre, change the genre, or at least are the standard of the genre. Lord of the Rings is the standard of that genre, and again, the biggest reason I put it on there is because everybody knows the Game of Thrones is my favorite TV show, possibly of all time, and I cannot refute the fact that George R. R. Martin said that Lord of the Rings was the inspiration for that series. So I can't dispute it. It doesn't matter how much I don't like it. It doesn't matter how boring it is to me at times. All of those things are irrelevant when it comes down to it, because facts are facts when it comes to that standard.
I would watch
That's
Game
why I
of
had to put
Thrones.
Lord of the Rings number one.
I would watch Game of Thrones.
I put Indiana Jones number two because Indiana Jones was the standard for what an action adventure movie was. Indiana Jones was like one of the most, when I was growing up, he was one of the most popular freaking characters, and his movies with fire, freaking pulling the heart out of the chest joint. I never forget a whole bunch of moments in the movies that are iconic. And then The Mummy, another series that I love, pretty much is a rework of Indiana Jones. Tomb Raider, one of my favorite video games, is pretty much a rework of Indiana Jones. So that movie helped change genres in whole different types of ways, but it also set the standard. Number three, I put The Matrix number three because The Matrix it pretty much ushered in a whole new era of movies. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and everybody was copying the slow down, Neo going backwards. The storytelling was amazing. I do think, you know what I'm saying, there are times that it gets wonky, but any trilogy has at least one questionable movie in the trilogy. But The Matrix number one and two, you know, we argued about number two. Me and Danny thought number two was good. At the very least, it was good. But the storytelling, especially the spiritual elements when you bring it into it for The Matrix, is fire and almost can't be touched in a whole bunch of ways. Number four, Captain America. It was between that and Dark Knight, but I wasn't gonna have two comic series in the same list. I wanted to be able to spread the genres out, so I had to pick between Captain America, which trilogy was the better trilogy overall for all of the movies. I think Captain America 1 is trash.
Bro, get out of
Myself,
here, bro.
I think Captain America 1 is trash. Sorry, it's not gonna change. Dark Knight, though, the first one ain't great either. Dark Knight is one of the best superhero movies of all time, and Batman Rises is dope, but it can't. But all together as a trilogy, it can't trump Captain America for Winter Soldier and Civil War, because Civil War is like pretty much Civil War. The only reason Civil War isn't the best Marvel movie, period, is because they didn't have to fight those other super soldiers. Me and Danny have discussed that before. If they had to fight those other super soldiers, it would have definitely been the best. And number five for Godfather. Godfather set the standard for all freaking mafia movies, period.
Did you
Ever.
did you
You know
watch,
what I'm saying?
did you watch Godfather though?
Nah, I'm lying about it. Why would I lie about that?
The first
I've seen
Godfather.
Godfather 1, I've seen Godfather 2, I've seen Godfather 3.
Hey,
It's a
listen.
legendary series. It's number 5 on the list. The other ones that I had that I was really debating for number 5 were Alien. Alien was in contention. I thought about Jurassic Park. I thought about Men in Black.
I had Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park was going to be my number 5, or Die Hard. Die Hard 1, 2, and 3.
I thought about Blade, and I thought about Jason Bourne. But I didn't love Jason Bourne enough to put it, and John Wick, of course. But I didn't put John Wick on the list because the biggest reason I didn't put those movies on the list is because I can't say that they pretty much set the standard for a genre. Although I would argue for John Wick, because to me, for a shoot 'em up movie, you ain't touching John Wick, bro. You just not.
Can I ask a question? I want to ask a question. I listened to everything you said. So were you putting the ones that you felt? It sounds like your list was more like your list skewed towards like greatest. Like it was more about the influence and its impact on cinema, as opposed to what you actually liked.
Consider
best.
Lord of the Rings. I do not hate. I just think that it's very slow at times. I don't
I
like
have
that there are
not
no
watched
black
Lord of
people.
the Rings.
I don't like that there are no black people, and you're not gonna get me to like that. But the thing that made me put it where I did is because Game of Thrones is it is my favorite show of my generation. It is the best TV show of my generation, in my opinion. And if that man who wrote that said that Lord of the Rings was the inspiration for it, how am I gonna go against that? And I say Game of Thrones is my favorite TV show, so I had to put it there. Whether I wanted to or not, I had to.
Bruh.
Are there
The way you feel
other
about Star
trilogies that
Trek
I
is
like
how I
more?
feel.
I like Rocky more, but I'm not gonna put Rocky 1 through 3 and say it's better than Lord of the Rings as a trilogy. I just can't do it. So that's why it's in the Spider Sense.
Had fights. Had better fights.
Yeah,
had better fight?
yeah. Hey, Game of
What had
Thrones
better fight?
is a TV series. That's if Game of Thrones was on this. If Game of Thrones was eligible, you absolutely freaking right. Game of Thrones would be right there, but it's not.
I
So
don't know, man. This list don't sound like you, man.
I don't care what it sounds
I,
like. It's the list.
not after
So
not
y'all
after
talk it
all the
off.
conversations
I
we've
explained it.
had this week. Not after all the
I
conversations.
explained the
Not
list.
after the conversations we've had today alone.
We've had mad conversations
You
about a whole
literally
bunch of
told
stuff.
us you made 2 lists.
We're trying to get the popular vote. Listen,
He is though. Like he is.
Yo.
I respect.
Hey, say what you want. Y'all got to explain yours. Go ahead.
What do you want? All right, ask. I mean,
I don't
think
have any questions. Y'all go ahead.
no, I'll explain Toy Story to y'all because y'all sleeping on. First of all,
I'm not asleep. Toy Story
Toy
was in
Story,
contention too.
just like you said about the impact on the culture, Toy Story changed like the whole genre, right? Toy Story was pretty much original idea. It was a wholly original idea, and the emotional connection between these toys and their owner carried through 3 whole movies. All these adventures that they had, bruh. When Andy had to give Woody away to the little girl, 3 because he's going to college. This is something all have experienced. I collect comic books now. In 10 years from now, when I got to give my away to, DJ or something, like, dang, bro, like, I not put into these comics all the care that I give them. Now I got to trust 2 generation. Like, the story was just so good, man. It was perfect. Listen, y'all got to stop making Toy Story.
I like Toy Story, but I didn't. I probably haven't watched any of them more than once.
Yeah, I don't have. I didn't put Toy Story on mine only because I didn't put Toy Story on mine because. So there are certain genres that I don't, because Friday's another one I was thinking about, but I really
wouldn't even put Friday anywhere near this list.
Best for me has to be both. I can't leave off what's the greatest, and I have to balance what I like versus what's the greatest. In my opinion, that's what my goal was. That's what I set out to do.
Okay.
I had to be able to balance both. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. But Toy Story, I watched them; they were good. But I can't say that.
Yes, the answer is yes. I've watched Batman Begins a ton of times. I've watched The Dark Knight a ton of times. Dark Knight Rises maybe twice, 2 or 3.
Dark Knight Rises, I watched. The 2 that
Dark
I
Knight
watched
is not that good, man. It's just not that good.
The first one is not that good.
The first one's fine. There's only one part of the first one I don't like. And it's the part where he's like, I don't have to save you. I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. Other than that, it was fine. But The Dark Knight had so many things where I was just kind of shaking my head like, this don't make no damn sense. He break his back. Oh, he fine. He can climb a damn wall. I can keep going.
Look, Dark Knight. If you don't like Dark Knight, I don't know what to say. That's
no.
insane.
I'm not talking about The Dark Knight. I'm talking about Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises was fire. It wasn't as good as Dark Knight.
Fire movie, man. You are
my boy that played I love what's my guy's name? The guy that plays Bane.
That you can barely understand through the entire movie. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I
can't understand. But that was a dope spin on that character though. It was
The
dope.
way that
You are too liberal with the terms fire and dope.
the way that they bruh, Batman. I'm still mad that Batman got his whole back broke and came back to beat Bane in 2 weeks, bruh.
2 weeks.
Just
Dude,
got your tail beat.
It's Batman. Don't do that. Don't act
Nah.
like Batman don't do all kinds of impossible
Batman
stuff
got
all
no
the time.
superpower. All right, so when
It doesn't matter. He does this all the time.
So when Ace Blade, when Lumberjacks break Ace Blade back
He gonna break more
in
than
one
his back.
episode, and then in the next comic he come back and beat Lumberjacks up. We're gonna talk about that.
It's not possible.
Dude, how you gonna have? So you tell me that you were right and you went along with Batman sacrificing himself and then taking off and then living in Italy and crap. Like Batman gonna give up. And then you have Robin.
Listen, bro.
What's the real name?
I didn't say the movie was perfect and it's not on my top 5. So I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to.
But that's the problem though. A lot of the other choices, they didn't have at least like the reason why I chose Dark Knight movies is because the first two in the trilogy were good enough to overshadow the third one. I couldn't put The Matrix because the first Matrix was amazing. The second Matrix was not good, and the third one was
wrong, Javon. Let's talk about this Matrix.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about this Matrix because all of the moments.
Talk about it.
All of the moments from the second Matrix were
what moment? What moments?
The highway chase where they're fighting and the two transfer trucks hit each other and the explosion. Neo flying.
Neo fighting all of the Agent Smiths.
Yeah, it was like a damn video game.
But that was dope. Like it was
fire, bro.
CGI was terrible.
It was great for the time. It's terrible now. It's terrible now, but it was great for the time.
Like, dude, at the time I was sitting there like, this is bad CGI.
No, sir. No, you were not.
I promise you already. I've been saying this for years now.
That thing was next level.
How about the entire last 10 minutes of the movie is a dude sitting in a chair talking,
and it was great.
No, it was great. It made no sense.
We were looking for answers and we got some of them.
You didn't get any answers, dude. We
still did get some of the answers.
We got all the answers. He said, "Hey, either you can sacrifice yourself or you can save your people and go about your business."
You're right about that, Lori.
Bellucci was the best thing.
Yeah, that is definitely another standout moment. You ain't never lied about that.
Monica Bellucci was the best part in the second movie.
To him,
you said it won't no great parts. So that's just another one that Lori brought up.
If one actor is literally the best part, and she was in the movie for like
she's not the best part.
What about the Merovingian? The whole scene with the Merovingian and them fighting in the room with the weapons going up the side, bro. That was epic, bro. No,
it was
that fight was so dope.
Good.
Neo literally reached into Trinity and took a bullet out of her chest. Cause fire.
Dumb.
Bruh. No, it's not.
No,
He's the one. What are you talking about?
If he can stop bullets.
It's dumb. It's dumb.
Yo,
the third one wasn't the only. I like the third one better than the second one because the third one at least had the fight with Smith. That was fire. I'll give him that. And then the whole war scene was fire.
Yeah, the scene with them breaking into the Babylon, what was it called?
I don't remember what it's called.
Machines breaking down into and them having the machines.
Fire.
I like the third one better than the second one. The second one was good, man.
That trilogy.
I remember sitting there. You could listen. You could ask any of my friends. You could reach out on Facebook. They there. We sat there trying to find reasons why we liked it. It wasn't good.
I love it.
I'll give you the action scene, the sequence from when the Keymaker took off to when cars explode. That is a great action scene. One great action sequence does not a good movie make.
And them like going back and watching it and them having Neo in one part of the world, you know, them doing the door thing, the keys opening the door, and then him saying, "Yo, they 300 miles away from you." He's like, "Bet, I got you." I'm like, bro.
That one scene, I will give you the fact that they have great action sequences, but the rest of the Matrix was not. I mean, like you can't end a movie with a whole deposition dump, dump of exposition. Like you're just sitting there going, and then when you're done, you're like, what?
But the movie was all philosophy though. Like it was just all
movie that deep.
The whole movie was philosophy.
The movie wasn't as deep as you think it was, dude.
I'm not saying
as deep as you think it is, man. The first one is, but the other two, not really.
Hey, for the first one to have been basically an indie film,
I love the first one. I love
to turn it into what they did, bro. Even if
I will not discredit the first one.
Another trilogy that I had in mind that I almost put at number 5 was the Unbreakable trilogy.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Split, Unbreakable,
and that twist in at the end of Split was so fire. I don't know if anything can compare to it aside from Saw 1 when old buddy got up off the floor. Maybe the others in Sixth Sense. Those are the only movies I can think of that can touch that.
Which one? Oh, I'm thinking of Glass is the last one, right?
Glass is the last one.
Yeah.
I came so close to putting that number 5.
Glass wasn't that good, yeah.
I like Glass.
But it was but okay. So what trilogy besides Lord of the Rings? What trilogy has a movie in it that isn't weak?
I literally my top 3 in my opinion,
all 3 movies are perfect
films. Back to the Future, there are no weak films. All 3 of them are entertaining.
You're
all
wrong.
3 of them are good. All 3 of them are entertaining.
The second one,
Indiana Jones. All 3 Indiana movies are classic. You are crazy.
Not.
And Lord of the Rings. All 3 classic.
Your whole list is
America. All 3 are good. And I don't know what you're talking about. Captain America 1 being trash.
Captain America 1's trash.
I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree with you on that.
I don't care.
Captain America 1
doesn't make a difference to me.
Captain America 1 is one of the best Marvel movies.
I'm taking Captain America 1 over both of the other Batman movies.
I agree.
Okay.
Captain America 1 is better than Batman Begins and better than Dark Knight Rises.
Legit.
I don't have Batman on my top.
Kenny brings up a good point. If there were 3
Lethal Weapon was awesome.
Lethal Weapon, I wanted to put 4 in there because I would have had to use 2, 3, and 4. But the first one, the third one, and the fourth one, I think are my favorites from the Lethal Weapon trilogy.
I barely remember the third one. I can remember the first 2.
The third one was when he got his whole house blowed up.
Lethal Weapon, Die Hard.
Die Hard was almost on my list.
Yeah, Die Hard.
Planet of the Apes was definitely
the old one. Oh, you mean
the remakes for me are the ones that were in contention.
Was there 3 new Planet of the Apes movies?
I think so.
Yeah, there was Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and something of the Planet of the Apes.
That first one, all I know is that first one where he spoke. That was the moment right there. No, not Rambo. I'm sorry.
I don't think you can put Rambo in there, man. Listen, we fought forever on this. Y'all don't understand how much.
No, I'll tell you why Rambo does not go, because Rambo 1 and Rambo 2 are completely like the characters in the movie are 2 completely different people.
So the reason why we fought on this, because Morgan alluded to it. The reason why we fought is because Morgan wanted to just shoot, like if it was a franchise like the Harry Potters, Morgan wanted to be like, okay, 3, 4, and 5 are fire. So those are my 3. That's my trilogy. That's where we had the argument over and over again. So he wanted to, you tell me if I'm wrong, you wanted to put Avengers 2, 3, and 4 as a trilogy, but that's not really a trilogy. There's movie series, there's movie franchises, and then there's, an actual trilogy. Like you can't.
If we were gonna do that, the 2 that I would have had in were Rocky, of course, but I don't think Rocky 1 through 3 is the best string of related movies. So, like, I think in that series, Rocky 4, Creed 1 and 2 are the best string of related, like story related films for me.
That's a spinoff, though. It's a spinoff.
But my thing is this, though. Even if they were a trilogy, I don't think you can get the emotional payoff from 1 to to Creed, I mean from Rocky 4 to Creed without the relationship that they built in 1, 2, and 3. I don't think you can see how important he was to him and why, because of those first three movies. Like the emotional payoff and why he is so attached to Adonis's life. The reason why he accepts to train him in the first place is because of the respect that he had for his father. But you don't see that if you don't get the first three movies.
But I think there's okay. The crux of where Creed builds from is the fact that Drago killed his father. You see that in Rocky 4. You see that there's a relationship between Rocky and Apollo in Rocky 4. You see Rocky beg him not to go and do that. You see him talk to him. So there's enough context in Rocky 4 for you to still be able to get and understand Creed 1 and 2. It might not be as deep as you might like it to be, but there's definitely context there. And I don't think Rocky 1, 2, and 3 can compare to Rocky 4. Rocky 4 to me is the best Rocky of the series. Period. So you know what I'm saying?
I agree with you, but only because of Rocky 1, 2, and 3. Rocky 4 by itself isn't gonna be, if it was the beginning, okay. If Rocky 4 was the beginning, it's not gonna be as good because you don't have the context of the relationship. You can't.
It don't matter. Like Creed dying in Rocky 4 don't really matter if you don't
get them running together in the sand. If you don't get them sparring in that mysterious second fight, like if you don't get that, then the emotional payoff isn't there for Adonis to come and find this man.
The rest of the, and then you got to also acknowledge the rest of the yes, the Star Trek. I like the Star Trek reboots. I'm with you.
I watch them all the time.
I wouldn't put them in my top 5, but
I'm not gonna put them in the top 5.
But you also have to acknowledge like the rest of the Rocky movies before Creed, you need those as well to understand a lot about why Rocky is where he is in Creed.
And his relationship with his son and why he feels like he missed out on that. Like all of that is necessary to build Creed. I agree.
It adds weight to what you're watching in Creed. The same way like Infinity War. If you just put Infinity War on right now or Endgame, you put it on right now, like if you were somebody that never watched any of the other movies, Endgame don't really hit the same.
It don't make no sense to you at all.
It don't, but forget even makes sense. It probably can make sense, but it don't hit the same. Like Iron Man don't hit the same if you don't
Captain
have
America lifting the hammer. Captain America lifting the hammer doesn't mean anything to you if you haven't watched 5 movies before that.
But that's why like having that's why it doesn't really work as a trilogy outside of the fact that it's a spinoff. But you know, like it doesn't really work. I didn't have Pirates of the Caribbean
I hated all of those movies.
They weren't worthy of being in the top 5.
I didn't hate them. They were entertaining, but I wouldn't be like, man, I never watched one and was like, man, that's the greatest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've never gone back and rewatched the Pirates of the Caribbean movie ever.
Not on purpose. Like if it's on TV and I ain't doing nothing, it might.
No, I'm sorry, Laurie. I liked the first one, I did, but after that, it was like they all the same one. And the one with the what was his name, Davy Jones, dude, with the tentacle, Cthulhu guy. I like that one, but
I didn't dislike them. I just wouldn't put them over the movies that I have.
I wouldn't go put them over Jurassic Park. Almost made really
close to me too.
No, I wouldn't. The second 2 movies are not good, y'all. Don't do this.
But Jurassic Park 2 and 3.
See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, okay,
no, sir.
Jurassic Park 3. We need to qualify something though, because we keep acting as though every trilogy has at least one movie that's weaker than the other one. All of them are not
saying that they have 2 out of the 3 movies are weak.
No, Jurassic Park 3 was great. Them tricking him to get back on the island. Yo, the whole concept of they saying, yo, I know you broke. All right, our son is on this island. He could be dead, but I got to come and trick you to get on the island. And then he has to literally guide them to survive. The dude steals the raptor egg.
I understand the concept of the movie. It was
great. It was executed fantastically. Them
Okay.
crashing into the bird, into the pterodactyl to not be able to get off the island. Come on, man.
All
Hey,
right,
listen.
so man,
Hey,
Why is
listen.
Lori talking about? Why is Lori talking about
I have
Aladdin?
never rewatched. I have never.
You've upset Lori with your slander, sir. I look. All I'm saying is, there are other. Don't get it twisted. The movies that I left
Thank
off
you,
my top
Lori. Thank
five,
you. I like Lori, man. Lori been on point, man.
I
the
disagree
movie,
with you on that one, Lori.
Jurassic Park
the
3 was
movies,
hot garbage, man.
the
Jurassic Park
movies,
3 was, and
the
the second
movies
one was
that
great too, with Goldblum with the black daughter and the
You only
gymnastics.
like it because he had a black daughter. Let's be real.
No, I'm saying because she was
You only like
integral
it
to the
because he had-
story. Like the gymnastics were integral to the story.
It was only integral because of the story because they made it integral for the story. Like
Well, they made it integral, and then in the
random
third one, with them bringing the dinosaur back to San
Come on, man.
Francisco,
Come on, guys.
it was classic.
Come on, man.
The dinosaur,
You're the only person I've ever heard referred to as Jurassic Park 2 or 3 as classics.
tell me
The only person
when,
I've ever
tell
heard.
me, them bringing the dinosaur back to San Francisco, right? The dinosaur is running through the city, and then you see the Asian people running, looking back like it's Godzilla. That's
I've seen
classic
the
movie magic, man.
movie. You don't have to tell me what the movie is. Happens in the movie. I've seen it. It's
That's
not good.
classic movie moments, man. Come on now.
If you say so, bro. You.
look, like I said,
I didn't read the books.
There are other dang, Ryan's going hard right now. There are other really, like, this was a hard list to do. And for me, best meant I had to balance greatest with what I like. I had to. So I could, because otherwise it's favorites. So if I pick my top 5 favorite trilogies, my list would be different. But it's not favorite, it's best. So best.
My list probably would have looked like yours if I had done it that way. But I've never seen Star Wars. I would put Star Wars in the top.
Star Wars would have been on mine too, but I haven't. I literally rewatched Star Wars Episode 3 earlier today, but I haven't seen Star Wars Episode 1 and 2 because everybody knows, like, I'm not. I know they rebooted them. Episodes 1 through 3 were like, what, 99 to like 2005 or something like that. But the old Star Wars joints, like,
is that cute?
I couldn't possibly. I couldn't possibly go back and watch them joints. I'm gonna do it at some point. I forced myself to. I went back. I made myself go back to watch Godfather 1 because I think it came on like AMC or something, and that's when I started. And I actually got interested in watching it because of where it started at. And then I went to watch Godfather 3 on its own. I went back to watch Godfather 1. But it's rare for me to go back and watch old movies. So, but if you go back and watch Godfather, like, I don't think it literally every mafia movie that you have watched is built off the back of that movie. So, and those movies are all good anyway.
Right, and that's the only reason.
3 is the questionable one, but
that's
I
the
mean,
reason why I didn't have it in my thing because I like I said, I've seen like almost all of the first Godfather, but I never made it through the other two. The first Star Wars, I made a concentrated effort. I promise you, to sit down and watch Star Wars movie. I think I missed the age where watching Star Wars would make me like it. Like,
which one of y'all?
I definitely did.
Which one of y'all had the Which one of y'all had the Dark Knight trilogy?
I did.
Javon.
You putting Dark Knight over the Spider-Man trilogy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Which way you talking about? You talking about Tobey Maguire? Okay, so let's do this. The first Spider-Man, I think we all love it because it's what we had at the time.
I hate it. I hate Tobey Maguire. Period.
I don't hate Tobey Maguire. Like, I actually have no issue with Tobey. I don't think Tobey made a great Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man movies are like, how do you put this? Spider-Man movies are like the old, like, X-Men movies to me. Like, I love them when they came out, but when you go back and watch it, you're like, nah, bro. And the first Spider-Man, to me, that wasn't like, he still never really captured Spider-Man for me. So the first one, I liked it when it came out. I liked it for a while when it came out till the movies, Marvel movies got better. but like the Joker, I mean not the Joker, the Green Goblin with the looking like a Power Ranger. There's some other like corny stuff.
Man. That's the best they could do.
Yeah, that's not the best they can do.
Venom. Nah, I didn't like Venom. Like how they did Venom. It was like
the third movie wasn't good.
Yeah,
you got
I agree.
dancing down the street, with looking emo and everything. Spider-Man 2 was great. I like Spider-Man 2.
Somebody asked about Ip Man though. Ip Man is a great martial arts franchise, but there's not 3 movies. I don't think there's 3 movies that would compete with Rocky. Like
I've never seen Ip Man. Ip Man.
You didn't see it?
I don't watch anime. I don't watch.
No,
anime.
it's a martial arts film. Ip Man.
Oh, it's a martial arts. I'm sorry, I didn't see.
And the stories in them are really good. Like Ip Man is probably like, if we did like 5 movie series, it would probably make mine because it's really good.
I tried to do that with y'all.
He fought Mike Tyson, bro. Like it was great.
Ip Man is fire. But like I said, like I want to make sure I reiterate that my list is the list that it is because if we're saying best to me is a cross between my favorite and greatest. Otherwise, it's just my favorites. So if it was my favorites, then my list would be different. But if I'm saying best, I don't think there's any way for you to say best and not be considering the greatest. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? What's the point in that? I don't understand how you do it.
From now on, how about this?
Split the two.
How about this then? From now on, we say that if we say best, we're saying our favorites of the greatest.
What? That's pretty much.
I just think we need to make it clear what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like if we're gonna do greatest, we just gonna do greatest. Like that's what greatest is.
I asked.
No, I understand what you're saying. Like I understand what you're saying, and I'm saying if we going like from now on, we just gonna do like if we're just saying top 5. To me, if we're just saying top 5, I'm gonna pick the ones that I think are the best. But I don't always think the movies that are the best are the greatest because, like you said, there's a market difference between your list. Your list is talking about cultural impact and all that other stuff. My list doesn't really do that. My list is, what I think is best, what I think is good, compared to other things. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, mine's a mix of both. Like I said, I don't hate
because your number.
I don't hate Lord of the Rings. I just can acknowledge the fact
saying that
it's slow. I can acknowledge the fact that it's slow. I can acknowledge the fact that there are no black people in it. I can acknowledge the fact that it's the biggest thing that bothers me about Lord of the Rings is that it's slow. But for its genre, I can't say that movie's not like a masterpiece for its genre. It sets the standard. Everybody agrees it sets the standard, and I have to too. I can't even lie and say that it doesn't. So that's why but the thing that put it over the top for me is, again, and I say it again, Game of Thrones is my favorite TV show of all time. And if George R.R. Martin said that Lord of the Rings inspired him to make that, I cannot argue against that. And as much as I begrudgingly put it up there, I didn't have a choice. So again, if it was up to favorites, I ain't put it on there. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be on there if it was up to favorites. If it was up to favorites, I would have put John Wick on there. John Wick was on my list. I took John Wick off because I'm thinking about the context of the greater conversation, which is the balance in between greatest and my favorite movies. So that's what I did.
No, that's fair. Like I said, I didn't add movies that I never saw because I didn't want to fake the front. Like I'm not gonna say that either. Star Wars was great. Like, man, I don't know. Like I fell asleep during the first one and I couldn't make it through it the second time I tried to make it through. So
yeah, Star Wars, like I said, the only reason I don't add, because I know I don't know if his internet dropped out or what. I know for the Star Wars would have been on my list if I had seen 1 and 2, but I don't know if the standard for Star Wars, I think for most people, is 4 through 6. Luke and Darth Vader's story. I like seeing how Anakin became Darth Vader. Like I love that. Um, I think if I had watched the other two, I didn't have time to watch the other two today because I was. I mean, y'all saw my Facebook story. I had a really weird day today. Um, but Star Wars would have been on there. But if I had seen them, Godfather made it on there because I can't. Like I said, the movies I put up, Toy Story was close too because Toy Story is really good. But I'm not really. I do like animated movies, but I don't know, man. I mean, I tend to lean more towards dramas, thrillers. You know, shoot, James Bond was close. James Bond was mad close. Daniel Craig's running James Bond was close for me too.
I thought it
Um,
was four of them.
you got Skyfall, Quantum Solace,
Spectre, and
Spectre.
then
They're
the
coming out with a new one.
no, that was the first one. The first one.
I thought Spectre was the first one.
No, the Spectre was like the last one, I believe.
Yeah, I can't remember. That might be why I didn't put it up there. I don't remember.
Casino Royale. Casino Royale.
Casino Royale. Okay.
Was,
Yeah, I know there's a reason I didn't put it up there, but it's also like I said. I mean, I don't want to disparage other trilogies that I don't have on here because I love Rocky. Like I love Rocky. Rocky's one of my favorite series of anything. But again, if we were doing favorites, my list would be different. But we're not doing favorites.
Fair enough.
You know, I do think there's a lot of really good trilogies that people put in. Like I said, Friday for comedies, Friday, Beverly Hills Cop. I love Beverly Hills Cop growing up.
I give you Beverly Hills Cop. I ain't give you Friday.
I love Beverly Hills Cop growing up. Die Hard was dope. I can't take away from Die Hard. That's what I'm saying. There's a whole bunch of really good movies that could have been in contention. But for me, I settled on those movies because I'm like, those movies are all great, but did they change the genre? And I swear I came so close to putting Unbreakable on there, but I could not justify how it changed the genre. That's why it's not on there. Okay. So The Conjuring, I can't put The Conjuring on there because everybody doesn't rock with horror movies. If we were doing favorites, I might have, but there's also a bunch of Conjurings too. So yeah,
no, there's only three.
Nah.
Yeah.
There's Conjurings?
Yes. There's only three.
I'm about to
one just came out last year or this year.
The devil made me do it.
Yeah, that's the third one.
Wait a minute, bro. Hold on.
There's a Conjuring 1, Conjuring 2.
Okay. Well, you're saying with the title, with the name, The Conjuring in the title, not with Ed and Lorraine in it. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. With Ed and Lorraine in it, Annabelle is one too.
Annabelle, they're
in there.
The first, they're not in the first one, are they?
I'm almost certain they are.
I don't think that they're in. Huh?
Hold on, let me look. I'm about to look now because The Conjuring.
I don't. They might be in for 2 seconds, but that's a spinoff. So if you wanted to put The Conjuring in, you could put The Conjuring in because it's a trilogy.
Yeah, but I
hear you.
That could have been a contention too. Because I mean, The Devil Made Me Do. I went to see it, of course, because I'm a fan of The Conjuring. The Conjuring 1 definitely is still one of the best horror movies out there.
I mean, that's a whole nother story.
It was my favorite for a while.
We could do a top 5 horror movies for me.
Man, I tried to. I tried to. Well, hey, y'all.
We'll work it out. We'll work it out.
Yeah, whenever somebody's ready for that, then I'll definitely do that list because I think Conjuring.
We can do it.
Hereditary is Hereditary took over as my number one.
Not hold it. Don't hold it. We gotta keep content for the show,
man. Anyway,
but I gotta drop. But before I go, I do want to do this. A young man from my church passed away. I believe yesterday. He was a good young man. I was very happy with how he grew up. I've known him since I was a kid. Shane Fields. You're my boy. Sorry you had to go, but I really hope you can rest now, and I'm sure we'll see each other again. I love you, brother.
And man, shout out to his family. Send prayers of love, for that because you can't imagine losing somebody.
Yeah, he was young. He just turned 33, so it's a tragedy. And
Yeah, man.
listen, man, we'll see each other again, and we'll have another laugh like we always had. But you're my boy, my brother. I love you, bro.
Hey man, I appreciate y'all coming in again. I'm gonna put the poll up in a minute. I'll put the poll up in a minute. I'll put our list up in a minute. I put it in here. I need Danny to send it to me on Messenger, and I need you to send it to me on Messenger so I can put it in the poll.
His is in the private chat.
Yeah, I know, but let me see. A lot of times that private chat, when I try to copy and paste it, it doesn't do it right. For some reason.
Well, I gotta take off.
All right, man.
Take care, everyone.
We'll put the poll up in a minute. Love y'all, man, and we'll see y'all next week. Make sure y'all get on the polls that we do this week.
Oh, last thing.
Next topic off too.
If you in Boston this weekend, I'll be at Fan Expo Boston, Comic-Con and Boston Convention Center. Come on by, get my comic book heat, and say hi. We can argue about top 5 lists too. Whatever.
That new Jack Heat. I read it. It's fire. So y'all definitely need to jump on that.
I'll put the link in the under the chat.
Wait, this is Danny's list. Danny had okay. Never mind. I'm multitasking. Anyway, man, I love y'all, man, and we'll see y'all next week. Make sure if you have not already joined the group page, what are you doing with your life? Go join the group page so we can get on these polls and argue on the page. Love y'all. See y'all next week.